know that in a cliff, they're already celebrating. There were already like fireworks and all kind of noises last night. So already, let's get ready. Let's come to our chairs. And let's start into now what we've established for so long to be our neutral position. Let me put the screen just a bit here so you can see my feet. And so that neutral position that we come back to so often or we practice from needs to be established clearly so that we're all on the same page, steady and supported and safe to move and with better access to broader movement. And so that neutral position brings you to sit on the very edge of your chair to the point almost that your hips are, your sit bones are rolling out of the chair, not obviously to that much of the edgy point so that you're still comfortably seated and safe in your support, but you're really, really close to the edge, so you have plenty of room behind you, behind your back, between your back and the back of the chair. And when you do that, like slight coming to the edge of the chair, there's a slight tilting of the pelvis that naturally occurs that reinstates the natural curve of your back instead of slouching back. Then your feet in this position are hip distance apart. So you can tell from watching the screen and watching what my legs are doing here that my knees are not opening out, meaning my toes are not, if I'm turning my toes out, automatically the knees are following. If I'm turning my toes in, my knees are squeezing in. So you want to have that distance of hip distance apart, that align with the knees being hip distance apart and the feet being hip distance apart. And for that to happen, the feet have to be parallel. If not, again, it's gonna get out of alignment. So look down instead of now that you watch me to see how it looks like, check in with yourself and make sure this is what is happening in you, that your feet are hip distance apart, that they're parallel to each other, that the knees are right above the ankles. And from here, obviously, the hips are in a straight line from it. The shin bones have to be perpendicular to the floor. That means in a 90-degree angle towards, in relationship with the floor. So I'm going to open one leg out so you can see. You don't want the foot to be out there because, see, it's not a 90-degree here. And when you're like this, the weight is more toward the heel of the foot. And you don't want to be like that, which is not either a 90-degree angle, and now the weight has shifted toward the ball of the foot. When you're in a 90-degree angle, the full weight is distributed all around the foot. You feel pretty equal towards where the weight goes to the front of the foot, to the back of the foot, and the sides of the foot. And that's where we want to be. So all this being said, hopefully you all found your neutral position. We're going to rest the hands on top of the lap. And let's close the eyes just for a few breaths. Bringing awareness to your breath. And ideally you're breathing through your nose, not through your mouth. So if your natural way of breathing, which is not natural, but if you got into the habit of breathing through your mouth, shift to breathing in and out through the nose. And notice for yourself where your breath is. For most of us, most part of the day, the breath is very shallow because we're so much thinking and worrying and stressed out that we're compromising the breath. If you were to be caught in the middle of the night when you're deeply sleeping, your breath is deep and wide, and if you're not congested, it's most probably happening through the nose. And you can feel the belly breath happening the same way that babies are breathing. You might recall watching your kids or now your grandkids when they're sleeping so peacefully, so deep, and you see the movement of the breath around the belly. And that's really deep, deep breathing that reaches to the lowest part of the lungs, which is why when they're expanding, you see the movement on the belly. The lungs reach really far back to the sides of the ribs, far back, far down. Let's take 2 or 3 breaths here to really bring awareness to your breathing, to make that first connection, to acknowledge how the breath flows and allow it and give it permission to start deepening and broadening, which is its natural course. And then following the breath, start also diving into your body and giving yourself a quick scan to see how the body feels. What are the different sensations that you become aware of, that you can pay attention to a little closer. And again, I'll never remind you enough that it's not about judging whatever you're feeling, because that's the first tendency that comes, being pissed off at your aches and at your tensions, and being mad at your own body for feeling the pain of it. And a lot of times it just takes this awareness, this acknowledgement of how the body feels. The body, like anything else, just wants to be acknowledged. It's giving you signals that something is off and that you need to drop from the head into the body to address what the body needs. So if you haven't listened for a long time, the signals become stronger and stronger towards you need to eat better, you have to move more, you have to breathe more calmly, you have to hydrate yourself more. All the things are part of the self-care that the body needs and that a lot of times we fail at. So let's take just one more breath, tapping into the body, tapping into the connection of the body and the breath. And then we're going to gently open the eyes so that you can see what I'm doing. And we're going to start with a gentle tilt of the head from side to side. And try to keep your head floaty, meaning that if you start with the chin coming forward and you're tilting your head from here, probably is not going to feel good at all. It's going to feel like pinching on the spine. So bring your chin back slightly. The perfect alignment here is that the ears should be on top of the shoulders, not forward, neither back. Most of the time, it's really rare. I've barely seen anyone having the ears back, but I do see a lot of people with the chin forward because most of us get into this position when we're sitting. So that's why it's important to establish yourself with the natural curve of the back, so that naturally the chin goes back, ears on top of the shoulders, and then from here the tilt of the neck should feel really good instead of achy. And it's not as much as how far you can go. We're not here in a challenge, competing against each other or competing against ourselves. Is really wanting to get this neck starting moving so that you can get into a warming up of the neck that maybe has been experiencing stiffness and restriction of movement. And we have the capacity through simple mindful movement to not only soften the neck muscles, but also to activate them in a proper way, in a way that is supportive of holding your neck up and aligning with the rest of the spine with the minimum effort. When I keep on tilting the head from side to side, and obviously because I'm talking, then it's not as obvious, but I still feel it. I want this intention of relaxing my jaw. Because again, there's a lot of tightness happening around the face and the jaw. So the best way to make sure your jaw is relaxed is that you slightly open your lips, not to breathe through your mouth, but to allow the jaw to unclench. Let's take a couple more. And the next time your head is tilting out to the right shoulder, you settle here. Maybe as I just did, you move your chin a little bit in and out and around and find the right spot where you feel the stretch from right behind the left ear, down slope through the neck and out to the top of the left shoulder. If the chin is further forward, you're going to feel it to the back of the neck and toward the right on top of the shoulder blade. If my head is tilting back, I'll feel it to the front of the neck and the front of the chest. So find the right angle that you feel it straight line to the side of the neck. And then from here, you bring your right arm up and you bring your right hand to the side, left side of the head. And you're not pushing down, you're just bringing weight into the head. You're gently landing the hand and breathe a little deeper into the left side of the neck. If this feels already really good, you can add an extra touch here with releasing your left arm down to the side of the left hip. And that adds weight through the weight of the arm and gravity. Pull the left shoulder down just a little bit more. And breathe. If you take the breath really full, you'll feel the breath kind of inflating, expanding into the left side of the neck. And as you exhale, you feel a deep relief from under the layer of muscles on the side of the neck. And therefore, you're opening space in that softening for the side of the neck to lengthen and stretch out. Left hand back to the leg. Release your right hand. And slowly bring your head back up. Inhale. Exhale, tilt your head to the left. Again, move the chin a little bit. Tiny in and out, sideways to find the right spot, to find the stretch right on the side, right side of the neck. Not the front of the throat, neither the back of the neck. Once you find that spot, bring your left arm up. Bring your left hand over, resting on the right side of the head, and let it rest here, bringing a gentle weight. Take a breath or two here to assess how your neck is feeling, if it's starting releasing resistance, and if it feels good and you're feeling pretty safe here, you can release your right arm to the side and drop the weight of the right shoulder through the right arm. Imagine that your right hand is made of steel and it's super heavy. And just imagining that might add a little more weight to that right side, that right arm. And therefore your head tilting out to the left is experiencing a nice long stretch through the right side of the neck. One more breath where you expand the breath into the side of the neck and you soften. Bring your right hand back to the lap. Release your left hand and slowly bring your head back up. And pause and feel both sides of the neck that now have been activated and are feeling more present. And we're going to exhale and bring the chin down. As I bring the chin down, I'm not rounding my back forward. Okay? It's not like, oh, now I can relax. You keep your spine up and it's just the chin tilt. And stay here for a breath or two so that the muscles here from the base of the skull down to the space between the shoulder blades can start lengthening out. And keeping this alignment of the chin close to the chest, we're going to start gently sweeping the chin across from right to left. And as you do such, maybe also invite the eyes to not only gaze across the swinging of the chin and the head, but also as you go across, maybe your eyes are going way past the point where your chin is going. So for example, when I'm turning my head to the right, I'm looking up to the outer right corner of my eye. So my gaze is further up than the incline of the chin. And when I turn my head to the left, I'm looking all the way across to the outer corner of my left eye. And let's do that a couple more times, from right to left, and again, right to left. And back to center, gazing down to the space between your feet, and then slowly bring your head up as the gaze is following. Inhale, look up to the ceiling, tilting your head slightly back. Open your mouth and relax the throat. And exhaling, tilting your head back down, the mouth naturally closes. Inhale through the nose, relax the jaw, let your mouth open as you come up. Exhaling, tracing back down, mouth is naturally closing at some point, chin squeezes into the chest. Breathe in, lengthen, expand. Imagine you're creating space between your vertebrae on your cervical spine, your neck. And exhale, coming forward, opening the back of the neck, compressing the front of the vertebrae forward. So we're shifting back and forth from compressing the back of the vertebrae that was tilt the head up to gently compressing the front of the vertebrae as we tilt the head down. One last, breathe in. So if you're having arthritis at the neck level, this is really, really beneficial to bring some circulation into the bone structure, into those vertebrae, so that the stiffness doesn't get hold of it permanently into becoming a stiff neck. Two more, lifting up, gazing up all the way to the upper side of the eyes. And slow down. Now you're gazing in toward the navel and back to neutral. Lifting your right shoulder to your right ear and drop. Left shoulder up to the left ear and drop. And let's alternate from side to side. One shoulder at a time, lifting and dropping and alternating to the other side. And down, slow lift through a full breath in and drop through the breath out. Fast drop. Breathe in and long, lift up. Breathe out and drop. Breathe in and long and lift. Breathe out and drop. One more on each side. Breathe in and up. And drop. Breathe in and up. Exhale, drop. And let's start rolling the shoulders forward. And as I'm rolling the shoulders forward, they're kind of looking toward each other, rolling in and then up to the ears, and then roll the front of the shoulders back and down. Inhale forward and up. Exhaling back and down. One more, breathe in and out. Pause, feel the body, take a little stop here to notice how things are going. And let's go backwards. Roll the shoulders back and up to the ears, roll forward toward each other and back down to neutral. Elbows reaching out as you're rolling the shoulders back. Shoulder blades come closer in together. And you roll up, roll forward, and down. One last. Roll back. Expand the breath. Lift up. Roll forward. And down. Good. Setting your left hand on top of the right knee. Relax your right arm to the side. If you have an arm to your chair, you're going to have to bring the arm further out to the side, but try to keep it relaxed here, even if you have to avoid that side of the chair. And we're going to swing the arm forward and back. So ideally for this class, which I haven't mentioned before, but if you have a chair at home that does not have arms on the chair, that's a lot easier to get more range of motion, because for this swing, for example, the sensation of the swing and how much effort is involved is a lot less when you're swinging right close to the body than when you have to support it out to the side. It still goes in the shoulder, but this is really much more active on the muscle level than it is here. Here's just like a ragdoll. A few more. And the next time that you're gonna go forward, you roll out and back, you stretch. Press down into your feet as you roll forward and open back, following with your head and your gaze. Breathe in and out. Find your own pace of breath. Breathe in. You don't have to go at the same pace and movement that I'm going. Just honor your own rhythm. One more. And release. Press back to neutral. Take a moment here to acknowledge and feel the right shoulder versus the left shoulder. You might feel that the right shoulder now has dropped a little lower, is more relaxed, and feel also some heat around the right shoulder. And then slide your right hand to your right knee, shifting forward. So that gives you support. If I'm going sideways, you'll see that there's a difference between being here to shifting here. And then you have more of a momentum. The left arm can be completely relaxed and heavy and just swinging forward and back with a lot more ease, and you can try it for yourself than sitting here. There's a lower point of gravity here. But make sure also when you're doing this, you're not rounding here, right? So you're stretching forward, you're rolling your hips forward, and then now you have the body fully supporting for the arm to be completely loose in the swing forward and back. Keep on breathing all along. A few more. Actually feels really good on my shoulders. Yesterday I spent a few hours in a river with strong current, so I had to fight the current to stay, sitting in the river per se. So I did a lot of work in my arms and my core. So it feels really good here. Next time around, you swip forward and up and come across and back. Inhale forward, lift up and back. Breathe in. Stretch as you lift up. Really stretch the body. Don't be shy. Don't go here. Lengthen as if you were to reach the ceiling before you swing back. All along. Breathe in. Expand, open a big circle out and back. Two more. Breathe in and out. And last, breathe in and out. And relax. Sit back. Relax your hands. Drop the elbows. Relax the shoulders. Deep, long breath in and out. And as a reminder here, because you see me switching positions, if you're new to this class, understand that you're staying always facing the front. I'm switching angles so that you can see from different perspectives, because you're seeing me on a flat screen is not the same than being in a room together where you can see all the different angles, all the 3D dimension, 4D, 5D, all the dimensions of my body moving. So don't move, don't switch, stay straight forward unless I tell you anything different. Let's slide the hands to the top of the knees, ground down into the feet, feel the weight of the hands pushing onto the knees down, and this already is tilting the pelvis forward. If you have super long arms, which I know that a few of you at least have a lot longer arms in proportion to the torso, so that means that it does this when your arms are straight. Then bend the elbows a little bit, but instead of bending out to the side like this way, you bend them in that way, parallel to each other. And that's where you have the tilting of the hips forward happening. And from here, we're gonna go in whichever of those two positions, straight arms or slight bend. We're gonna rock the pelvis forward and back. And what can help here, especially that's what we're paying attention to today. I'm not always giving the same cues so that you can experience movement in different ways. But today, let's work on really using the arms, the hands and the feet. So you're pressing down from the feet, pressing down from the hands into the legs to create the movement and support the movement on both range of motion and fluidity, so that it doesn't engage as many muscles on the back or the belly. And you're really grinding, you're rolling onto the sit bones, from the front of the sit bones to the back of the sit bones. Imagine that your sit bones are like golf balls, and you would be rolling from the front to the back, and you're rolling onto those balls. Inhaling as you rock forward, and here you start now being more aware of pulling the shoulders back and opening the chest forward, and then you're pressing back and you're rounding in, spreading the shoulder blades apart as your hips are rolling back. Inhale forward, exhale, squeeze back. 3 more, breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And last, breathe in and out. Coming back to neutral, sliding your hands back to the center of the legs or about to the mid part. Palms together. Clasp the fingers, rotate the palms out, and we're going to stretch out to the front, arms parallel to the floor, and we're going to lift up, and same arching of the back that we just did with the rocking of the hips, and you're going to pull back. If arm straight is too challenging for you, you can bend the elbows a little bit and pull back and stretch across the chest. So that would look like this. If your shoulders are really tight, you're not able to get your arms here, or when your arms are straight, they coming forward, bend the elbows and open that chest, stretch into the armpits. Keep the intertwining of the fingers and the pushing of the palms up, and that will be therefore into gentle arching of the back. And then when you're coming forward, you're rounding and stretching now the arms straight. Here at this level, you should all be able to do this. And then inhale, pull forward, lift up, open and stretch. And exhale, straight arms forward, palms pressing to the wall in front of you. Inhale, lift up and open the chest. And exhale. And one last, breathe in and out. Come back to neutral spine, and now you're going to bring your palms, still interlacing your fingers, but you bring your palms in and you bring your hands on top of the head. You relax you and really bring them on top of the head. I've seen some of you when we were still doing in-person classes that keep the hands above the head, and I know for women probably it's because, oh, I don't want to mess up my hair. Nobody's watching you. So bring your hands down on top of the head. Nice. And then from here, we're going to tilt a little bit from side to side. The head is being supported by the weight of the hands on top of it. So it's a one block thing, that from the low ribs out to the top of the head, everything is tilting from right to left. A few more. Breathe in and breathe out. You can go slower than me if your breath is deeper, nice and soft. If you want to go into a little more active movement, you go a little faster, but make sure that you don't feel dizzy. So therefore, a tip here, like a little trick, is that your gaze is looking at something that is stable in front of you, that is not moving. And that will keep your brain from thinking that, oh my God, I'm getting dizzy, I'm rolling all around, I don't know where I'm going. Back to center, and then we're going to rotate. Forward, back, sideways, forward, side, back. It doesn't have to be huge rotation. It's all happening around the shoulders and the upper chest. back to center, and we're going to reverse, tilt out to the other side and roll the opposite direction. One or two more. Back to center, releasing your arms up and out and down. Take a breath or two here, relaxing your hands on top of your lap. Deep breath in, long breath out. Let's go into some spinal waves where we're going to go really, hopefully aiming to go really deep. We did the upper spinal waves here to warm up the spine. And now we're going to go and really dive forward. Sorry, a little sneezing here. Hands to the top of the knees. Open your feet just slightly wider out, like about 1 inch to each side. So you're opening your toes out a little bit and then repositioning. So there's a little more room between your legs. Make sure you keep on pressing down in your feet so your legs are not doing this and your spine is not just like, oh, I'm tired, right? Just stay up. And from here, so stay in position where you are. Hands here, and you're gonna curl the chin in. And imagine that you wanna literally dive with your head right between your knees, as if there was like cool, nice water and your face is so hot for some reason. And you want to bring your face into the water and then slide it out and up out of the water. And we're going to do this movement several times. So even if you're not able to go all the way to here into the water, but that's the intention. You're curling in, you're rounding in, crown of the head, reach at the water first, and then you swip into the water and lift up. And you go down and you roll in, touch the water between your knees, swip out and up. And so I'll go back sideways, but you keep on going frontways. And I'm using my hands here, bending the elbows to the side to come forward. So you're rolling in, dive. I'm using my hands for support to press into my feet and hands to roll the spine away and back up. And scoop in and sweep away. And scoop in and sweep away. So here I'm observing my own breath, and what comes natural for me right now is exhaling as I'm going down, inhaling as I'm sweeping away. Exhaling, rolling in and down. Inhale away. All the action comes from the hips. I'm not rounding back here and trying to pull forward with my hips in position. To be able to go forward, I'm hinging from the hips and down, and then press away. The hips are still curling forward, and then I push up and come back to neutral. Two more. Curl in, dive forward, stretch away, inhale, back up, and last one. Curl in, press down, extend out, and lift up. And pause and breathe and feel. Hands resting on top of the lap. Deep inhale, long exhale. Now that we have opened the spine, the shoulders, the hips, work with the arms and the hands, we're going to get into a little like a fiery action just to pump up the heartbeat and get things circulating a little faster. And we're going to bring two movements together that both of them we've done them before. And we're going to bring those two together. Usually we do them separately, just one and then another time in another class the other one. Today we're going to bring those two together. So one of the movements is the tapping of the feet down. That we haven't done in a while, but for those who've been attending this class for a bit, they'll have done that. There's a bouncing of the feet. It doesn't have to bounce far up. You're bouncing low to the floor, about crossing of the feet, arms forward, one arm in front of the other one, and we're gonna roll this way, like the tumbler of like a washer, doing the washing machine here, this way, okay? And you can go very slow or a little faster, and we'll go into different rhythms, different speed, and then eventually like fast, fast, fast. You're washing your clothes very efficiently here. So let's do a few more of this to connect to this movement. And then let's add the feet. And let's do both movements at the same time. So here you'll feel that your core needs to engage so you stay stable on the chair. Let's keep on going. You can go slower, both arms and feet, or a little faster, or a lot faster. And you can modify that rhythm on your own depending on how you're feeling. Make sure that in any part of this you're breathing nice and long and deep. Do not hold your breath. Let's keep on going for just a few more seconds. Pause, stretch your arms up. Inhale, hold the breath in. Exhale, relax. And we're going to do it again, but you're going to change the way. When we're going forward with the arms, you're going to go backwards, bringing it in. This way it feels that if you had water that you're scooping with your hands, the water would cascade out. And now you're bringing that water in towards you. So let's start with the arms first. Rolling in. Slow at first to find the movement, and then go a little faster so that we can experience the different stages of it. See if we can still keep the shoulders and elbows in position. Just move the forearms and the hands. And then let's start with the feet. Good job. Take a pause here, take a little break, a little breather. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose and noticing how the body feels. Now you must feel a lot of tingling, or a little bit. I feel quite a bit tingling everywhere. Sense of heat, a little more crude, intense in some areas of the body than others. And my heart is really happy, beating a little faster and happy to be fully alive. Close your eyes for the last 2 or 3 breaths and really tap into the body instead of watching me. Just for yourself, feel how your own body, how your own breath are feeling. Feel the support of the floor underneath your feet, the support of the chair underneath your sit bones. A couple more breaths. Just enjoying present moment and a little bit of stillness after all the action. And opening the eyes. We're going to open toes out, toes out, and find that position. Look down to make sure that feet are about the same distance apart, away from the center point of the chair, that your toes are not too far out, because that means that the knees are going to drop in and not be in alignment with the feet anymore, with the knees anymore. So you want the knees, it's the same position than when it was in front. It's just that I've opened the hip out, right? So make sure that you find that steady position here, hands on top of the knees, and we're going to give a little twist to the shoulders, upper twist, pressing from one hand at a time to rotate that shoulder up to the opposite side. Feel the pull on your back. Gentle and easy, don't force it too much, just find your own edges. Breathe in, breathe out. Couple more. And back to center, sit back up. And now we're going to swing one arm at a time to the side into a side stretch. So let's start with the right arm, sweep it up, lean over to the left, come back up, and switch. Inhale as you come back up. Exhale, switch and lean. Keep on going, keep on moving and breathing from side to side, opening the side body. So I work with science, and old science, a tradition called Ayurveda, which is very similar. Let's keep on going as I'm talking. Very similar to Chinese medicine. And in this time of year, it works, both sciences work with the flow of the seasons and the change of weather. And so this time of year, when it's so hot in Texas, at the time of year where there's intense fire in the air, right? And into our bodies. And supposedly, according to the sciences, doing side stretches like this release the extra heat in the body. So any time of the day that you feel a little too heated up, a little too aggravated, you do either side stretches, which is what we're doing right now. Let's do a couple more, one on each side. Or you do also another thing that also releases even deeper, let's stop, even deeper the heat, especially in the digestive system, which is twisting. So that's where we're going to go next. You're going to walk your feet, toes in, heels in, toes in. Find that hip distance apart again, that nice and easy neutral position. And we're going to grab the back of the chair, or if you have an arm, the back of the arm of the chair. Left hand is going to rest either on top of the thigh or slightly grab the side of the thigh. Make sure that through the pulling action of the hand, you're not doing this with the knee. Your foot presses down to keep the leg in position. And we're going to go into twisting, gentle twisting out to the right, with kind of a bouncing in it. So you're twisting and releasing. I'm going to move sideways so you can see the movement from this other perspective. Here, and I'm doing a little pull and twist. Head is following. And I'm using both pressing into my left hand and pulling from my right hand. My elbow is bent and rolling back. And I'm squeezing anything that has accumulated, including high heat in the stomach, in the small intestine, and obviously on the spine, right? Couple more. And next time you stay in the twist and we're breathing here. So here, when we stay in the twist, you can find more comfortable positions instead of just like this awkward holding on the right hand. If you have a flat back, edge of the upper back, you can kind of hug here and bring the forearm on top of the back and kind of curl to the side. Make sure that you're not leaning back to do that. So find the right position here and breathe. And if this feels still really good, you're well supported in the twist here, you're not doing some kind of rounding, shoulders are equal, then you can lift your left arm and bend the elbow and bring your hand behind your right ear and kind of open and lengthen the left side as you twist on the right side. One more breath. Releasing your left arm out and down, and then soften in and release everything back to center. Shake it a little bit to reset across the upper back and the shoulders. And let's go to the other side. I'll move my chair to the other direction so you can see me also in this little active twist. Make sure you're recalibrating yourself back to that neutral position first. Right hand now is going to go to the outside of the left leg. You're reaching back with your left arm, either grabbing the back of the chair or the arm of the chair here. And we're going to go into the pulsing, twisting, releasing. Breathing into the pulsing. Pull and push from opposite hands. Make sure your left leg is anchored so your right hand is not moving your knee in. The more stability you can establish through anything that is in contact with the floor or the chair, the easier the twist is going to be. Two more. And last, twist stay. You can turn your head over to the left. Again, if you want to reposition and grab, bring your left forearm on top of the chair, kind of wrap around and get a little more stable and deeper in the twist here. And here at the same time also I'm feeling the stretch to the front of the left shoulder into the left upper arm, which feels really good. And I'm breathing in and out, belly breath, so that I'm reaching the lowest part of the lungs. And I'm feeling that breathing action into the twist that is slightly releasing as I'm inhaling because I'm expanding the rib cage and it's pulling me slightly away from the twist. And then when I squeeze the air out, there's a little more room to twist into. And final touch, if you have a good grip with your left arm or left hand that is keeping that twist stable and in place, you can release your right hand, right arm, lift up, bend the elbow, rest your right hand behind the left ear to the base of the skull, and stretch the elbow up. Feel the stretch and lengthening through the right side. If this is not comfortable, if it hurts, if you're not able to breathe, you bring that right hand back down and you relax the shoulder. Those are options and suggestions. Releasing that right arm out and down, softening in, and let's release all together, back to center. Kind of give a little shake to the shoulders, reset from the center of the spine to the sides of the upper back. And let's stay here and breathe, couple breaths or 3. Nice and long breathing. And final reset for today. Make sure, because we did really deep twist to finish the session today, arms to the side, and we're going to simply breathe with a gentle movement of the arms up and down. Inhale, exhale. So tomorrow is full moon, so imagine that is the full moon rising as your arms are coming up, and tracing that full moon around you. And exhale. Full moon is setting down to the horizon. Inhale, arms up, creating a hollow around you, and exhale. Breathe in. Now for the last 2 or 3, maybe you can even close your eyes. Breathe out, soft, calm, and easy. Breathe in. Find again your own depth of breath that is going to synchronize the movement with the breath. So you might not go as slow as I'm going. Your breath might be a little faster. So synchronize exactly the lifting of the arms to the full breath in. You're reaching the top of the breath in when your arms are up. And then you slowly descend and you're feeling the whole breath out, lengthening and releasing out as your arms are dropping down and you're reaching the bottom of the breath out. Arms are all the way down to the side of the body. Last one, breathe in. And breathe out. Rest your hands to your lap. If your eyes were closed, keep them closed. If they were open, close them. And we're in the landing at the end of our session. We're closing where we started. Let's go through a little scan of the body to check in with every single part of the body. See how it feels. Let's start with the feet and the contact of the feet with the floor. Feel the toes one at a time from the big toe to the little toes on both feet. From the sole of the feet, reach to the ankles up. Feel the top of the feet to the ankles. Feel the ankles all around and inside. And then feel from the ankles, the shin bones, and all the muscles around the shin bones on the low legs. Feel the knees, top of the knees, front of the knees, back of the knees, and sides. Connecting to the thigh. Those joints are connectors between parts of the body. Connecting low legs to upper legs. Feel the thigh bone and all the muscles around the thighs. Feel the connection of the thigh with the hips. Just established on your sit bones and feel the flesh around your glutes. And feel your low back. There are 3 bones here that come together to create that low back. On each side, right and left, those are called the S and I joints, sacroiliacs. And then there's kind of a triangular shaped bone in the middle, that's the sacrum. So get a feel for that low back bony part. And then from that low back, feel the front of the torso at the same level. Feel the low belly, the inner hips, the pubic bone in between. And feel across to the base, the pelvic floor. From the base of the pubic bone to the tailbone, and across from the right sit bone to the left sit bone. Feel the weight of your digestive organs dropping towards the pelvis as you relax the belly. And then connecting again to the back of the body. Feel the spine going up from the tailbone to the base of the skull. And then along the way, feel the muscles from each side of the spine, from the low back to the upper back, connecting to the shoulder blades on the upper back. These angel wings that are hugging the back of your heart. And feel the shoulders, the top of the shoulders, the back of the shoulders, the front of the shoulders, the side of the shoulders. From the shoulders, connect to your upper arms. Feel the muscles all around the upper arms. And now connect to the elbows that are gently bent here. Inner elbow, outer elbow, and sides of the elbows. Connecting to the forearms, wrists, and hands. That are in contact with the thigh. Feel the palms resting on your thigh, the inner fingers, the space between the fingers, top of fingers, top of the hands. And connect again to your low belly. Go a little higher, feel your navel. A little higher, feel your upper belly. That now joins to the lower ribs. Go a little higher, feel the sternum right above where the ribs meet. And slightly higher. Feel the chest, upper chest, sides of the chest, sides of the rib cage. Going a little further up, try to connect to the collarbones that come across from the base of the throat to the front of the shoulders. Feel the breath in and out, expressed into a lifting or expansion of the chest and belly, and then the rest, contraction and release on the breath out. Feel the throat, from the base of the throat, the front of the neck, inside out, connecting to the back of the neck. So now you're connecting all around the neck. Then come up into your head and feel the skull all around your head. And then glide down through the squeezy, mushy, fleshy part of the head, which is the face. Some parts are a little less cushiony, others like the cheeks have a little more flesh on them. So feel the different parts of your face, from your forehead, your eyes sinking in, your nose coming and popping out, your cheeks and cheekbones. Connect to your jaw that starts almost behind the ears and come all the way to the chin. Feel the teeth inside your mouth and notice if you're clenching and pressing your teeth together, or if you're quite relaxed with a little bit of space between upper and lower teeth. Feel your tongue and let it relax as much as you can. Feel the space between your tongue and your palate. And if there's no space, create space by relaxing your jaw a little bit down. And staying here for a couple more breaths, like feeling the whole body from the head, through the torso and arms, legs and feet. And gently place your hands on your low belly, flat hands there, and just gentle hug of the belly. No tapping, nothing special, just feeling the belly. And you might feel here the breath gently moving into your hands. And this simple action can be extremely calming. A sense of presence, a sense of rest and relaxation. In this space, here and now, everything is okay. Everything is good. There's nothing to worry about. Move your hands up and place your hands on top of your chest. Gentle rest of the hands. Elbows are relaxing to the side of the torso. Your hands are resting nice and easy on top of the chest. Now feel the connection between your hands and your chest. Maybe you get a sense, a feel for the heartbeat behind it. Hands connecting to the heart. And again here, you feel the movement of the breath coming in and going out. And finally, move your hands to bring your palms on top of your eyes. The rest of the fingers are resting on your forehead. The thumbs to the side of the eyes. Gentle touch, feel the connection of your hands, your eyes and your face. And when you're ready, gently release your hands out and down and start opening your eyes up. Slow and easy, no rush. And we're done for today. Let me come back to you closer. I'll open the microphone so that you guys can ask questions. Stop the recording.